Welcome back to 405 Sports. Today we are talking about the major UFC news that Dana White just dropped. So Dana White has gotten into these videos where he just posts them and talks about them. Usually it used to just be they would post a picture of the fight and you'd be like, holy crap, it's happening. So kind of started to happen whenever the whole thing went down with Dana at the beginning of the year. And plus John Jones kind of got spoiled because the T-Mobile Arena accidentally spoiled it in Vegas. So that happened. But now he does these videos and he lets us know, and now we know 297, 298, and 299. So 297 is taking place in Canada, and it's going to be Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis, and then we'll have 298 where we have Ilia Topuria taking on Alexander Volkanovski, and 299 where we have Chito Vera versus Sean O'Malley. Now, let's just go one by one. Now, I'll get into the fact of where I get the UFC did good, but they also did bad. I'll get into that. And let's go ahead and get started with 297, where we have Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis. Now, as you may remember, Khamzat Chimaev and Kamaru Usman was rumored to be, if not even rumored, Dana pretty much said that the winner of that fight would get the title shot at 185. But it wasn't a too eventful fight. And I don't know. I think everyone was just kind of like, yeah, I mean, Khamzat, that was cool. But you got a guy on like 11 days notice, if not less. And don't get me wrong, Usman is a great fighter, but Jorge Masvidal came out and said, I saw Usman at the club at 4 a.m. 10 or 12 days before the fight. So, I mean, who knows what kind of shape he was really in. Obviously, he made weight and he still competed. Usman was in the fight, But I don't think Dana was too impressed with Khamzat. I think he still is impressed with Khamzat in terms of who Khamzat is as a star. It's just he was kind of like, all right, we got to go Dricus and Sean. Who knows what's going to be said at that presser? I don't want to know. The 185 division has a lot of guys in it that are like that, You got Sean Strickland. You got Costa. Adesanya gets away with a lot of things that he says. So that division just has a lot of guys who talk weird, but as long as Dricus du Plessis does as well. So in that fight, I would have to favor... You want to say Sean Strickland, and as I would, because I just didn't believe in Sean's boxing as much as the next guy, and that's why I took Izzy over him. And it wasn't because of Izzy's power or anything. I just thought Izzy was simply a better striker, but Sean Strickland showed he's a pretty damn good striker. So I'm gonna favor Strickland at the moment. I'm not gonna pick a winner, but I'd favor Strickland. But obviously, you can't sleep on du Plessis because he just took out Whitaker, and not beat Whitaker. He TKO'd Whitaker, who the only other person to really do that is Adesanya. Obviously, it happened at welterweight, but I'm talking middleweight. Whitaker has only been knocked out, knocked out by Adesanya. So at the moment, I'm not picking a winner, but I'm going to favor Sean Strickland. For UFC 298 is Ilia Topuria against Alexander Volkanovski, where Alexander Volkanovski returns to the featherweight division after the loss to Islam Makhachev. I actually do love this by the UFC because he was supposed to take on Topuria at 97. I am glad they moved it back to 298. If not, I wouldn't have been mad if they would have moved him back to 300. But obviously, we saw what Volk said after his fight. He said, sometimes when I'm not fighting and I'm not in training camp, like he was just like, I'm kind of sad and I'm not myself and I'm a different guy. And he kind of broke down and it was like, wow, these fighters really care about this stuff, man. And it was sad, but it was really cool to see. So I'm glad that they moved it back, though, to 298. I did not want Alexander on 297 at all. So 298 does make me feel a little bit better. Still a little risky, I guess you'd say. But I'm just glad he's not on 297. But this is going to be a great fight. Ilia Topuria has worked his way through the featherweight division with wins over Bryce Mitchell. And, he was supposed to take on Edson Barbosa. That would have been a great fight to see because he did just beat Josh Emmett. But I would have liked to have seen the striking against Edson because Edson did look good in his last fight. So, if we're being honest here, we know who the favorite's going to be. It's going to be Volkanovski. Now, I don't know where this fight's taking place. Dana literally got on the video and was just kind of like, these are the three fights. Thank you, guys. That's basically what it was. I do know Canada for 97. But 98 and 99, we do not know the locations. So there was rumors of a Spain card, which would be, one that Topuria would want to be on. But I highly doubt they would make Alexander Volkanovski go into enemy territory 2 times in a row And, especially for Topuria. I mean, the guy's not even a champion yet. So, and that just doesn't make sense to me. So, I think people underestimate Volk's wrestling, but at the same time, people underestimate Ilya's wrestling. Ilya's wrestling is pretty dang good. You saw that in the Mitchell fight at 282. So, it's kind of like the last fight. I'm not picking a winner at the moment, but Volkanovski is obviously the favorite. And at times there was rumors that Max Holloway was going to get an interim fight against Ilia Topuria, and I wouldn't pick a winner, but I would still favor Max. I think Max and Volk just have so much experience over Topuria that that would make me lean towards them. I don't know. I mean, obviously, in the Emmett fight, Topuria did have a 10-7 round, which is absolutely absurd to hear in MMA. I mean, that's just crazy. That is absolute domination. Sometimes you see 10-8s and you're like, holy crap, but a 10-7, yeah, it's insane. So like I said, don't know where this fight's taking place, but it ought to be a good one, and I'll have a breakdown for that one in a long time. So that one's a little bit ways away. Now we move into 299, where Sugar Sean O'Malley takes on Chito Vera. This is the fight I just don't enjoy. Not that I don't enjoy him fighting Chito Vera, but we all know why he's fighting Chito Vera. It's a big money fight, and it's a big rematch. And not that I don't believe in Sean, because I am a Sean fan, but the thing is they're giving him an easier fight. Let's be honest here. Merab and Aljo are way harder fights than Chito Vera. Let's just be honest there. I'm sorry, but this fight just doesn't make sense. If Corey Sandhagen wasn't hurt, Corey Sandhagen has a better case than Chito Vera. Corey Sandhagen just 50-45'd Chito. Wasn't close, not one bit. And somehow, some way, Corey lost one of the cards. It is one of the worst split decisions in the history of the UFC. It was in San Antonio. Corey said that the judge that gave Chito the card did not like Corey, so I don't know. All I know is, I just don't like this fight. Chito doesn't deserve it. He's off of Pedro Munoz win. Okay. He's number 5. Merab deserves it more. Aljo deserves it more. Corey Sandhagen deserves it more. I don't get it. And here's the last thing. If you wanted to do this fight that bad, now obviously it's tough because I can say this, but it's at the same time, when you really think about it, you should have saved this fight for 300. Now, I get it. Sean O'Malley is a superstar, and he's going to main event that fight, and that's going to be a card surrounded around him. It's going to be built by him. The card is his, right? But at the same time, you could have built 300 and had him as the co-main event to, I don't know what they're going to cook up for 300 now, because we have so many guys fighting. I mean, you have Volk fighting 2 cards before it. 3 cards before it, I guess. But I don't know. I just don't love this fight. I don't. Now, I don't know if Merab and Henry Cejudo are going to fight or not. That hasn't been announced yet. But I don't know. I don't think Chito's deserving. I don't think the timing is right. I really disagree with this one on the UFC. It's a great fight. I understand. It's going to be a great rematch. It's going to do numbers. Sean O'Malley's going to sell the crap out of it. So is Chito. People are going to be like, wait, Sean's lost to this guy? But then it's going to be like, well, actually, he kind of just got hurt in the fight and then got TKO'd. So really, not that Sean didn't lose, because he did lose. He did lose. But it's just kind of a thing where it's, people are going to be like, oh, well, we got to see him rematch this guy that he lost to. So overall, the UFC did great. Also, Jan Blachowicz versus Alexander Rakic is confirmed, or not confirmed, but it's looking like that their rematch is going to be on 297. So that'll be a good fight to have on there. And yeah, I would give, if I had to rank the 3 fights across the 3 main events, overall, I'd give it like a 7.5. If they could have just done something else for 299 and saved, I really wish they'd save Sean for 300. In my opinion, that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. I feel like Sean could have made a great card for 300 with, I feel like Conor's going to fight on 300, so I feel like you could have built that card around him, and you could have easily done 2 million buys on that card. So that's all I think about it. So thank you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to comment down below who you think are going to win these fights, and thank you for watching the video.